Rumors are running wild over at Lucasfilm and Star Wars. The latest claims that The Mandalorian Season 4 will be adapted into a theatrical film, and it will be the first film released on Lucasfilm's upcoming Star Wars slate rather than the Rey movie. Before we get into this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos. With that out of the way, let's get into this here. This I wrote over at thatparkplace.com. Headline reads: Rumor Lucasfilm to adapt The Mandalorian Season 4 into a theatrical film could be the next Star Wars movie. This rumor comes from scooper Jeff Sneider during a recent episode of the Hot Mic podcast. This is what he said a couple of months ago. I also shot this one down. There were rumors that Season 4 of The Mandalorian could be turned into a movie. At the time, I don't think that was necessarily the case. However, this is what I am starting to hear, that the odds are in that project's favor. Whatever the Season 4 of The Mandalorian turns out to be, whoever is in it, whatever shape it takes, it is looking like that could be the next Star Wars movie, and that may be the thing that's announced before the end of the year. He went on and said, I think that Star Wars is anxious to make an announcement. I don't know that it will necessarily be before the end of the year, especially because the town starts to shut down basically next week. But I think that those Mandalorian Season 4 movie rumors, I think there was something to those. He then hedged. That's not confirmed. That is just a rumor at this point. It remains a rumor. But when I start hearing it from my person, then it's like, oh, where there's smoke, there's fire. Interestingly, this rumor does indeed come after Lucasfilm promoted Dave Filoni to their chief content officer. The Mandoverse film was also announced by Lucasfilm back in April during Star Wars Celebration 2023 in London. Ahsoka creator and The Mandalorian executive producer Dave Filoni was announced to be the director for the film. And I think that is significant that he was promoted to the chief content officer. And now we're hearing rumors that this might indeed be the first film going to theaters from Lucasfilm for Star Wars. We did have Jon Favreau inform us that the Season 4 script was already written. He said this back in February. He said, Season 4, yeah, I've written it already. We have to know where we are going to tell a fully formed story. So we had mapped it out, Dave and I, and then slowly you write just each episode. So I was writing it during post-production because all of it has to feel like a continuation of and one full story. So we know the script already is indeed written. So it probably wouldn't be too hard to transform it from a television script to a film script. As I noted, Filoni had just been promoted to their chief creative officer. Sorry, I think I was saying chief content officer. It's chief creative officer, and he indicated that Grand Admiral Thrawn would be the big bad for the New Republic era, despite the shows leading into the First Order and the return of Darth Sidious in Disney's atrocious sequel trilogy. But this is what he told Empire Magazine, who asked him, "Do you see Thrawn as the big bad of this New Republic era? Is that how you're positioning him?" And Filoni said, "Definitely, in my eyes." When Timothy Zahn wrote Heir to the Empire, Thrawn became this very iconic villain because he was different than anything we'd seen before. He wasn't another helmet-wearing, lightsaber-wielding bad guy, you know. There's a lot of pull to make characters that are like Vader because it is so iconic, but the boldness that Tim had was to make somebody that wasn't like that didn't have those abilities, but could fight in a different way. In the words Star Wars, the war part of it, him being a Grand Admiral, a leader, a military strategist, a Moriarty archetype, someone that will outthink you, out-strategize you, that really resonated. He's a critical player in this time period. We're fortunate to have that character and fortunate to have Lars playing him. As we found out in the Ahsoka show, the Thrawn character is nothing like what he is depicted in the books. He is a complete and utter fool. All of his plans are just utterly stupid, and he basically contradicts himself over and over and over again, and he is not actually out strategizing anyone. He just seems to luck into it. Nevertheless, Filoni also would tell Empire about the live action film, saying, I don't think that I deserve anything. Kathy, upon seeing my work in the live action realm, was like, Dave, we have to have you do a movie. My goodness, a person like that telling you that is an amazing thing. But I always look at myself and say, well, am I ready to do that? I appreciate that. And I think she would know, but it's got to be the right story and it's got to be the right group of people backing you. Again, I think the Ahsoka show shows that Dave Filoni is not the right person to do this. He is not surrounded by the right people to make a Star Wars film. In fact, if we want to go all the way down here, we saw that Ahsoka viewership was actually less than Andor viewership when looking at the finale by nearly 100 million minutes. The Ahsoka show clocked in at 575 million minutes. The finale did, and the Andor had 674 million minutes back in 2022. Interestingly, there were more subscribers to Disney Plus this year than there were in 2022. So take that for what that is. And then I wanted to go back up to this year there because we did get this other rumor that's based off of a listing, not just based off a listing, but came in the wake of this listing on the Film and Television Industry Alliance's website that said Sharmeen Obaid Chinoy's Ray film would be going to production in the United Kingdom on April 7, 2024. We had that listing again on the Film and Television Industry Alliance's website. And then after we got that listing, we got this rumor from Scooper WDW Pro claiming that Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy were attempting to expedite the film. He said she's allegedly in a very big hurry to get this movie into full-on production. That includes trying to reserve locations very fast out of the strike, as well as getting everything tucked away and done and put into place. They want to move fast. Still, I am told not to expect this film out until at the very earliest late 2025, but almost assuredly 2026. That means that even when this comes out, it will still have been basically a decade since Disney made money with Star Wars. Goes on to reveal that one of his insiders informed him that some executives at Lucasfilm and Disney are worried that the film could turn into another The Marvels and could be a massive, massive flop for the studio. And I think the same issue you have the same issue with this Filoni film. I mean, we just looked at those Ahsoka ratings. You can look at the IMDb ratings for The Mandalorian. It posted some of the worst ratings for an episode in season 3. People were tuning out. People were not happy with it, and the Ahsoka ratings suffered, I think, because of that as well. So I think they have the same problem with this Filoni movie as well that they have with the Rey film. They are just bad products that people have no interest in and don't want to go and see in theaters and are tuning out in other formats. So I just don't see how either of these projects would be any good. And to me, it just shows that Lucasfilm really has kind of run out of ideas. They are going to continue losing money hand over fist. And they just don't really have anything good in the cooker right now. And that, I think, obviously comes down to poor leadership and just kind of stemming from Bob Iger to Kathleen Kennedy to Dave Filoni. Just nothing really hitting for them right now. And I just don't think anything that they have kind of in the cooker will indeed hit. I think they have to really kind of go back to the well and find something unique in order to really kind of revitalize what they're doing. And everything that they're doing now just is not going down that path whatsoever. They continue to double down on their failures. But this is the latest rumor for the Star Wars franchise. Let me know what you guys make of this Filoni Mandoverse movie potentially getting pushed to the forefront in Lucasfilm's production schedule in the comments below. And remember to always be charitable to each other. Thank you.